Every day before you put up your climbing wall, you want to do some major things. First of all, you need to have your checklist in your hand when you're getting going to make sure that you cover each and every important spot that we need to look at. One of the first things we want to do is we're going to do a walk around the wall. We're going to look on the floor to see if there's any kind of fluids on the floor at all, and we're going to take and do something else. We're going to look at the cable itself. Quickly just run your hand down the side very gently, see if there's any kind of kinks or frays happening. Look at the surface of the wall itself, see if any of the climbing handholds need to be tightened or any kind of damage happened over the night that you can look at. If you check the wall and you see a loose handhold, make sure you tighten it up. Use the T-wrench, snug it down, snug so it doesn't move. Our next piece is to make sure that we're plugging in our 100-foot power cord. Now this is really, really important. If the battery is not charged, then the wall will not go up and will not come down. So it's very important for us to do. So this goes in only one way. It's 3 prongs and twist. And that's all there is to it. Once you have your cord plugged in, make sure you go to the rear of the wall, look right straight down, and make sure you see a red and green light flashing. This lets you know that the trickle charger is plugged in and working. Our next thing to do on this list, on your checklist by the way, is number 3, and that's to unscrew this aluminum cap and put in the controller, which I have in my hand. The controller has a slot on it which matches up to the slot here onto this, and make sure that you crank this and screw it down properly. And this is how it should look. One of the most important things we need to do in step 5 is to ensure that the tie-down strap has been removed. This is the strap that holds the wall itself to the frame of the trailer. This is so very important that we're going to cover it over and over, because if this is not removed, if you hit the up switch, it will stretch this to a breaking point and we have a really dangerous situation. David, if you go ahead and make sure that's removed, please. Good job. Back to step 5. We're going to actually raise the wall now. I'm going to have my partner walk around, all the way around, and ensure that there's plenty of clearance, no one's in the way, and to ensure that that strap has been removed in the back. David, how are we?
We're good, all clear, straps removed.
All right. When we get the all clear, the straps removed, we are going to go ahead and put the wall up. Here it goes. Okay, I stopped right here to let you all know that we have a situation. We didn't get the back jacks cranked up quite tall enough, and we weren't able to take and swing it all the way into a vertical position. At this point, it will happen to you, so you need to know what to do. It's very easily contained. Put down the controller, have your partner go to the other side, and as you crank up yours, they're going to crank theirs up, go up. Good. And you can see, if we're standing where I am, that there would be at least an inch clearance underneath the bottom bar. At this point, I know it's going to be safe for me to go ahead and set it vertical. And we'll go ahead and do that now. Perfect. All right, now that we have the wall up, we're going to have to do some other things. We're going to have to set this so it sits flat onto the flat surface, which means we're going to use the side jacks and we're going to crank them down so that it comes level. Where's my partner on the other side? Can you help me out here, please? All right, once you get all the weight off, got all your weight off, now snug it back. Just snug it back so it's all snug. Good? Good. All right. At this point, you want to make sure you remove the controller. Very, very important. You don't want anybody coming by and hitting any of the buttons at this point. So I've removed the controller and I'm going to put it back into the black bag. Okay, now the wall has gone vertical and we have cranked the front jacks down so everything is level. And if you were to look at that bottom bar, you'll see it sitting flush on the ground. These two jacks back here will be at a snug position. They're not really here to take and put the frame up and down. They're here to make sure we have a 4-point contact of the frame and now a 5th contact with the wall itself. Next thing on our list is to unlock the locks here and place the carabiners. This really works much smoother if you have someone help you. One person to grab a hold of the cable and pull it down, hand the key off to your partner, David, we're doing a great job here.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right. Now, if your partner continues to hold this down, it's really important because if they were let go, this would go to the top of the wall and you would have a problem. So make sure you take the time, hook it all up, and once he says he's got it, release slowly. Good? And we're going to do this, of course, on the other side now. You hear the carabiner? Good job.
Locked in.
Okay. All right. Our next step is to ensure that the hydraulic fluid is working in the auto belays. To do that, we're going to actually pump up the auto belays 10 to 15 times. And you just need to lean back onto the cable. If you try to pull it down without leaning back, it's going to wear you out. So just use your body to do so. I think that's 10. Okay. One of the next things we want to make sure we do after we pump up both cables 10 to 15 times, you want to make sure that you check your gauge. It's right up here on top of this bar. 85 to 95 pounds PSI is what you're looking for. There is a tag on the side of each and every auto belay that gives you that same information if you were able to maybe forget what it's supposed to be. The next thing I want to make sure you look at is this, what we call a sight gauge. And this lets us know we have plenty of auto belay fluid, some hydraulic fluid in order to take and run the auto belays. Make sure that you can see fluid in here at all times. Make sure you're checking the gauge 85 to 95 pounds PSI.